Oh. If you're like me, you're loving the fall. I got the fleece out. I got the jeans out. It is just so comfy. And if you love fall, the other thing that fall brings is 3 chances for you to see me and Jenny. And on the West Coast, you can see Fumi at our different live things happening. So October 14th, there's going to be our Hack City stand-up show. That's at Union Hall in Brooklyn. So you can check that out October 14th. October 20th, if you're in Los Angeles, you can see Hack City West Coast. That's with Fumi. That's at Hotel Ziggy in West Hollywood. And then on October 28th, we're doing a live Asian Not Asian podcast. So we're going to do a live taping. That's going to be at Caveat. That's in Lower East Side in New York City. That's also going to be live streamed. Okay, so you can get tickets for all that in the episode description. Again, that's October 14th, Hack City stand-up show. October 20th in LA, Hack City in West Hollywood. And then October 28th, a live episode recording. That's a Caveat. Come check us out. Bring the kids. Maybe don't bring the kids, but bring yourself and bring some good friends. And come hang out with us, man. We'll see you soon.
What's the parting word of wisdom?
Don't help anybody.
Don't help people. Do not help another living soul.
Live only for yourself.
Live for yourself.
Okay, this is the Asian Not Asian podcast. I'm your host, Mike Nguyen.
I'm Jenny Arimoto.
And we are here in this lovely studio that does not in any way smell like weed. Okay, it smells so poopery fresh.
It's really fresh,
and it is a great place. And I love giving this place money. So
it feels good to be here in this environment.
It feels good to be
Saturday
here
morning
on a beautiful Saturday morning
in a place that doesn't smell like weed.
Does not smell like weed at all. Yes, this is the podcast with all your favorite Asian friends. Again, I'm Mike Nguyen, and this is Jenny Arimoto. We're going to get started with what we always do, which is just give some Patreon shout-outs. We have just one today. We've been getting a lot of Patreon, so just hang tight. We're getting to y'all. But we got one, and we really want to stop at this one person because it's really cool. And if you guys don't know, Patreon is the best way to support the podcast. It's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. And you can become a patron, and then we do all sorts of fun stuff, of which one of them is give you a shout out on the podcast, guess what ethnicity you are. And this guy, we really, really have to guess, because he gave us, I don't want to say how much, but I will say it is too much.
Really?
It's a significant amount of cash. I mean, it's not like I can move to the Cayman Islands, but it is. I was like, somebody made a mistake. You know? It was that much money. So this guy, Peter, I think is how you say hhis last name is Xu, X-U.
Xu? Chinese?
Man, we can't just stop like that.
I know, but he's like, okay, he's Chinese.
Yeah.
He, okay, I feel like I keep going now. I'm like, okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, don't even stop me. Peter Xu, Chinese. The reason why he just dropped a bunch of money is because he just took over a new hedge fund. He's the head of a new hedge fund.
Ooh.
And he actually, he seems like he is a business guy, but deep down, he's an arts guy.
Yo.
He really, really appreciates the arts. And
he's an artist, or he's an arts guy?
No, he was an artist, but he was like too good at finance.
Oh shit.
And he's like a wonder kid at finance. And they're like, Peter, you're just too good at money.
Don't waste your time on this.
And he's like, but I love art.
But
and he's
I love sculpting.
But he has so much talent with finance and hedge funding.
Oh my god, your models are so good.
Yeah. And so then he just took over this hedge fund. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what a hedge fund is. I am saying it right now, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to imagine that he's putting together models. He's putting cash in places.
Oh, his risk assessments are so
yeah,
sharp.
he's
Just
like
always
he's
right.
funding things left and right.
Man, he's
Every
meeting
hedge
businesses
you
and
can see.
He's meeting hedges.
He's funding hedges.
Oh,
left,
hedges left
right.
and right. It's so many hedges.
But then he was like, came into all this money. He's like, I'm gonna put it where I want to put it.
yes.
And that's art.
Wow. It's sad if you
Yeah.
think about it.
It
It's
is sad.
beautiful.
So Peter, it's beautiful that like thank you so much, but I hope that you're able to finally sculpt and find the time to do that.
I swear to God that like half the times I talk to a Asian person who has like a regular ass job,
Yeah.
like half the time, if you get them comfortable enough and you go, wait, what else would you like to do? It's always something like, be a baker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter who it is, I swear to God, Andrew Yang, deep down, that motherfucker just wants to do stand up. That's what he wants to do.
He just
what I'm
wants
saying?
stage time.
He just wants stage time. And I mean, he opened for he introduced like Dave Chappelle a while ago. I swear to God, that's all he wants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. So thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
And again, if you want to support the Patreon and give us your hedge fund money like Peter has, it's patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod. Yeah, we're happy to be here. We got a great guest, and he's been on the podcast a few times. He's really a buddy. I don't even want to. You know what? No, shut up. You know when
Graduated to buddy.
yeah, buddy of the podcast.
Yes.
You know when somebody is not a guest in your house anymore, and you like stop serving them. You're like,
yeah. He's like, where the cups are. Just
get
like,
your own
get your
goddamn
own
water,
glass
you
of water.
piece of shit. And I'm not gonna give you toilet paper.
I brought my own headphones.
Yeah.
How do you want to be introduced? Do you have any like new things you want to be like?
No, nothing. Truly nothing.
Really?
Nothing. You can say leech. You can say slug. You can say mass.
Okay, so this guy, oh man, he is not even from phylum Chordata. Okay, invertebrate Woody Foo.
Yeah.
Hey! You're looking very slug-like today.
Thank you. Also, during the Patreon bit, I was like, oh, I see. You just fluff your Patreon people.
We will fluff the
Of
shit.
course.
I was like, I should donate like $100 just so you can be like Woody Foo has a gigantic penis and is great at sex and is very handsome. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, Woody, you don't have $100. I know this. Okay, I know this.
I was saying hypothetically.
Yeah. We would return
I
it.
know I don't.
I know you don't. Well, we're gonna start off with our question here. Jenny, do you have something ready to go? You can ask me first if you want.
Mike, why don't you go first?
Okay, go for it.
Mike, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was an EMT Asian. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So actually, last time you and I recorded here, or maybe like I don't know, a couple weeks ago, we're done. It's a beautiful day. We're walking, and we walk through. I have to meet my wife, so I'm walking to the G train. We walk to the G train together, right?
That's right.
And we stop by, what is it, 9th Smith Street station, the FG stop there. And we say goodbye, and I go up the fucking, to the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a lady there, and two people are helping her. She's like an older lady. She's got a cane, and she's just barely standing. Like she's almost at the top of the flight of the stairs, but she's just like barely hanging on. And these two people are helping her, and I thought maybe they knew each other. They get her like up to the top, and it's clear to me now that they don't know each other. They're all just helping her out, and they get her to the top there, and they're like, okay, well, are you okay? And she's just kind of like, she's not really responding. So she just, they just kind of leave her at the top of the stairs because they don't, they're sort of the job is done. But I'm standing there looking at her. I'm like, she could easily just fall right back down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
So I go over there, and my wife always makes fun of me because I'm always like asking people if they need help. She says this is a big problem of mine. And
she mocks you for your compassion.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. In New York City, you never know if somebody's going to like pull off their mask and they're actually like, I don't know, a deer. And so like
Classic story.
Classic. So I go over there and I'm like, hey, do you need help? What's going on? And she's just like, she's completely out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, have you been doing drugs? Have you been, are you okay? She's like, "Arr." And I'm just like standing there. And at a certain point, I'm helping her stand up. This is it. I just have to help her. I walk her a little bit. It's clear she's not walking. It's clear that she's not going anywhere. She's just going to stand there. I don't know for how long. And
I would never do any of this, by the way.
Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't even notice it, to be honest.
Really? It was just...
I would actively ignore it.
It was just especially, like, precarious. I just felt... Because I have, don't get me wrong, I see and ignore stuff like this all the time. But it just seemed especially precarious.
Yeah.
And then I call the EMT. I called 911. And I was like, I don't know what to do here, right? This person could hurt themselves. That's all. Call the EMT, and I rope in this other person who was like kind of looking at us, this some construction worker type dude, and we get her over to a bench. We sit her down, and several trains are going by. The construction guy leaves. I'm there, and I call this in, and I'm like, we need this, and this is what she looks like, and I think this is what's going on. She's just not responsive. Wait a long time. Finally, the EMT show up.
Right. This is why I don't do it, because now the next 3 hours of your life.
Yeah, no, I am involved. And it wasn't that long, but it was like maybe I was waiting for like 20 minutes. The EMT show up. the EMT guy, these are FDNY guys. The FDNY guy, he's kind of a smart ass. He's like, you couldn't have helped her down the stairs? And I was like, oh... I'm sorry. She was ready to talk. I forgot you were highly trained.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, first responders, we should support them. So they get up there. Yeah, they get up there and they're like, okay, they're locking to her. And actually, she had been sitting there and she kind of like comes to.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, great. So now I just called the EMTs on someone who's like taking a nap.
Yeah.
But they're talking to her and they're like, okay, sir, thank you so much, blah, blah. So I just kind of like stand off to the side. It's going, and they're talking to her. I hear something, I think something about methadone. I think that's something I hear. So I'm like, well, maybe she had done some of that, and she's getting over drugs or whatever, and whatever. So that's happening. But then the police come, and it's like it's two women police officers, and I was like, why are the police here?
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was like, have I made this much worse?
I see.
So I was trying to do someone a solid, and I was just like, really, I didn't know who else to call. There is no honestly, it is 911. You're supposed to call 911,
right.
I assume, and have the EMT come. I couldn't put a caveat like, please do not send armed
But now you're
police.
sending this person to be processed by a corrupt system.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt terrible. I still got on my train and left. But I didn't know.
I was going to say, what can you do at this point?
I don't know. I wasn't going to go up there and, and actually, this is something, we're going to talk about this later on in another episode, but Jen and you and I were hanging out yesterday, and I kept seeing NYPD doing different things, of which they were wildly, not trained for.
And unimportant.
Yeah, it was
too.
not, you know what I'm saying? So this was another one of those things, and I was like, this lady is not a threat physically, okay?
Right,
she is just barely hanging on there. She's got a cane. She's older. I'm like, I don't know what they were there for.
Right.
And I don't know. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? Like get in there and like videotape it? I don't know what was gonna happen. So I felt very conflicted about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I was like, should I have just done nothing? Maybe I should have done nothing.
Yes. This is the futility of acts of kindness and inherently broken systems.
Yeah.
Mike, haven't you seen The Wire? Haven't you seen The Wire? You get it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen The Wire yet.
As I was calling 911, I was like, this is just like The Wire. Oh my God, I'm McNulty right now.
This is why when I'm on the train, the only help I offer, and this is true, the only time people come up to me to ask me for stuff on the train is another Asian holding a envelope with a hastily scribbled address on it that's like been folded over and covered up, and they clearly have been lost for like 40 minutes, right? And they come up to me, of course, and they just start speaking in Chinese or whatever language, gesturing at the address, with like the wild I'm like fear eyes,
right?
And then I have to be like, oh God, okay, it has to be me. It has to be you.
Yes.
It cannot be anyone else.
You know what's interesting? That has happened to me. Has that ever happened to you? Like an Asian person comes up to you?
Sometimes, but I think not that often. But I don't know why. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're here
Why
in
that
New
no
York,
one has gone up to you?
Yeah, I'm like, why aren't people asking me for directions?
You look too Americanized.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
we need
I
nice
bet
boys.
when I had my blonde hair, people didn't come
Yo.
with me, especially because they're like, no, that girl's clearly
No.
Yeah, she's on drugs.
Yeah,
No,
she's not one
She's
of us.
too lit. Okay. Yeah, I need a nice boy like
Yeah.
Woody or Mike.
Yeah.
Somebody with glasses.
Yeah, someone
Totally.
wearing head to toe
Oh.
J. Crew.
Crew. You look like a dental student.
Yeah, look at this basic Asian. He'll help me.
Can you speak Mandarin or?
I can, and it's very frustrating because like there's definitely like transference that happens because then I am literally just helping my parents. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So like I'm always
That's
like,
hard.
okay, like I have to be. So I'm like activated and have to be calm at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
And normally it's fine. Sometimes though, because like especially if they're Chinese and I'm speaking to them in Chinese, they will expect more from me. Like
Oh,
they'll expect me to
shit.
go
Yeah.
above and beyond, just like point at the train and tell them what stop to get off.
Right.
They'll be
and
like,
also pick up some milk on the way home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
they'll be like, "Can you come with me?" Or like, you know what I mean? And you're like, "No,
no,
Right.
No.
I can't help you. Yeah.
absolutely not."
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing. I do think there needs to be some sort of like race specific help for people on the subway. You know what I'm saying? Because there's definitely, I've seen a Latinx person needs help. An older Irish dude needs help. Asian people need help, and they're not going to go up to whatever like FDNY
Yeah.
people
Or me.
or Jenny.
Right,
God
right.
forbid
Yeah.
somebody talk to
They're
Jenny.
in a state of pure like tunnel vision fear.
Yeah.
I
And
need-
they're like, I'm
yes.
supposed to be in the Bronx, and
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
Exactly. I have a whole bunch of mooncakes,
Yeah.
and I need to deliver these now.
They're in the middle of their own like private like sitcom, like
Yeah.
just crazy shit is going on for them, and they need someone to help them immediately.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope that was okay. I was trying to do something good, but in general, it sounds like I
Never
should have
help
done.
people,
Yeah.
Mike.
No-
Never
yeah, I
help
should have
people.
done
I mean, I
nothing.
think that's like very nice of you, but it's a broken system. So what can you do? Like, I do my best not to call 911. Like, I'm just afraid of cops.
Yeah,
I am afraid. Yeah.
I'm like, it's
afraid-
almost never good to call 911.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unless it's like violent crime is happening.
right. Anyways, what
But-
kind of Asian were you doing this with Jenny?
No, it just ends up with us lecturing Mike.
Yeah, no, I
trying to do his
I
best.
don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
Mike, stay in your lane. Never help people.
Yeah, just look
Keep
down.
your
No.
side of the street clean.
It's really great that you tried to help them. I
Okay,
think.
thank you.
We like convert you into like libertarianism
Yeah,
at the end
yeah.
of this.
Everyone, use your own resources to survive.
Pull yourself up by
No, I
your
think
own
it's
bootstraps.
great.
Racial inequity does not exist.
Jenny, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was a cool teacher. Asian.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I wasn't cool at all.
Okay,
But
well.
I was in a high school.
Okay, yes. What happened?
Mike
What
has heard
happened?
this story. This will be his third time hearing this
I want to hear
story.
it. I would love
God.
to hear the story.
But essentially, to provide context, I wrote an essay in the midst of like 2020. I had this big friend breakup with a couple of my very close white friends. And so
Fun.
I wrote this essay in the middle of that, put it on Medium. It kind of picked up traction, but it was in 2020, had its moment. This summer, a teacher reaches out to me through my website and he's like, "Oh, I'm a teacher in a public high school in Brooklyn. My students are reading your essay and we're discussing it. Would you like to come in and talk to our students about it? They're a big fan of you."
Whoa, that's hugely validating.
I know.
They're
I
like,
was-
we read your feelings and want to teach a room full of people about them.
Exactly. I was like, this is crazy. Like in an academic context. Wow. Like I'm so incredible. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go. And so I end up saying yes in the summer. So I'm not thinking about it. Right. And so I start emailing him like, is there something I need to prepare? Or am I just like legitimately just showing up? And he's like, oh, there'll be like a Q&A section. Maybe you can read part of your essay, but like, don't worry about it. Just show up. So I
Red
show
flags
up.
right there, yeah.
I show up. And I'm going to sit in with a senior class and a freshman class. And so I have the senior class first, which I was the most scared of.
Wait, hold on. Do you want to go? Is it important to know what the essay is about?
I mean, the essay essentially is about like me coming to with my Asianness
Okay.
and like
This is high school students also.
yeah,
right?
these are high
Okay.
school students. And so my essay is essentially about like my understanding of like having to stand up for myself. Like the reason why I feel like I can't talk about race or didn't feel like I could talk about race or stand up for myself was like all these little things in life telling me like my voice doesn't matter, right?
Right.
And how that's kind of like upholding white supremacy. So I wrote this essay. They're talking about it in class. I show up. This class is very very black. And I was like, this is a very interesting makeup. The teacher is white.
Oh man, Michelle Pfeiffer vibes in here.
And he kind of like comes in and everyone's really kind, but it's like high school is so far away from me,
Sure.
like where I am
Yeah.
right now. So I don't remember the feelings of being in high school. And I get there and I'm like, that's right. This feeling of like everyone's insecure. Everyone's looking for their clicks. Like everyone like
Tribal.
is performing like apathy where they're just like, I don't care. Like nothing bothers them. I don't care. Like, oh, whatever.
wow.
I was like, I
Yeah.
immediately felt those vibes and I was like, oh my God. On top of that, they all have smartphones. They're all on their phones all the time. And this class, apparently you could be on your phone. I don't know
Like
what
in
this class is.
class,
Like in class.
Okay.
So they all are holding their phones. They don't care about me. Like they don't, not that like they're being rude, but they're like all teenagers. They don't care about me.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, we sit in a circle. They like are holding questions that he printed out and they're like asking me questions. And to be honest, like the questions about race were like really well thought out in a way where I was like, I can't believe y'all are able to like put these into words. So I was really impressed by that. Like Gen Z is very, very good at talking about this stuff in a way that we were not.
Right. In a way that we found out about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
literally.
exactly. Me for 2 years ago. I like literally wrote this essay 2 years ago.
Right.
And so they asked me a lot of questions, and that part was great. But then immediately it turns into, so you're a comedian, and so we start talking about comedy stuff.
And then they're like, "Can I get a rep? Can you get me a rep?"
Yeah, they're just like, what have you done? You know. And I'm like, oh boy, like this is just spiraling into me thinking about my career. And then he goes, let's watch some of her stuff. He goes to my website, puts it up on the projector, and starts playing my mod sketches I wrote. I'm not in them, and plays my UCB live mod sketches, which is a 3-minute, like 30-second live sketch from 2019.
What was the sketch about?
It's about people in World War I wanting to be, who are like obsessed with drinking water and being like, I'm so hydrated. Like that was a sketch, and he was like, let's play this one, and I was like, this is. No 16-year-old is interested in seeing a sketch about World War I.
Yeah.
And so he puts it up on the screen, makes me sit next to the screen, facing the students. So I'm just watching the students board, watching my UCB sketch
It's
from
like
2019.
a focus group.
I know.
This was actually a scared straight. You know what I'm saying? This was like, dude, look what could happen to you.
Go to law school.
Yeah,
If you talk about race too much.
Yeah, don't do this, whatever this is. I was like, first of all, I was like, wow, this is one of the weirdest experiences I've had in a while. But two, I was just like, man, did I make a mistake doing comedy? Like,
Oh my
what am I
gosh.
doing?
Wow.
And then in the freshman class, it ended with him making me do an improv set.
Wait, hold on. You did 2 classes?
I did 2 classes.
He made you do an what with the students?
So the students were like obviously like being like, well, tell us a joke. And I was like, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I like don't have a joke. And even if I had a joke, don't tell me what to do. You're 14.
Yeah.
But
Stop
I was
hurting my
like,
feelings.
Like this one girl was like going after me, and I was like, do you have a joke? Like I was about to fight her. I was like, are we enemies now? And then she's like, then do something. And I said, then we're going to do improv and you're going to do it with me. I literally made her be in my improv set.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And then, so then we ended up doing improv, and she was just like, no one knows how to do improv, and they're all 14-year-olds who are trying to derail me. And so it would end up being me yelling at them. And he just filmed the whole thing. And I was like doing this ad hoc improv set with 4 14-year-olds who don't have any interest in improv. It was one of the weirdest
It's a fucking nightmare.
experiences.
It sounds like a fucking nightmare.
At a certain point, I was like, this has nothing to do with race. This is about embarrassing me as a comedian.
This
is crazy.
This is about you like trying to melt into a puddle, and then they're like screaming at you the whole time.
Exactly. So that was my day yesterday.
Oh my God.
I am making the Pikachu shocked face, right now, this whole time. That's nuts.
It was really, I had a moment where I was like, what did I say yes to?
Yeah. I have done corporate or improv workshops for high school students who could not give less of a shit.
Yeah.
Like after you reach like 4th grade, like kids do not give a shit about you at all anymore. And like I've done improv like in an auditorium for like a school of ADHD students, like high school students who were like 11th and 12th grade who were screaming bananas crazy the whole time. And like it was like being in charge of quelling a riot.
Yeah.
And that was an auditorium. And so like, but I've also done like the classroom where they're all just like, we have to get up. We have to move these
Yes.
chairs.
Oh,
Are you
come
kidding
on.
me?
Yeah,
I hate this.
And he put us in a seating arrangement to start the scene. So I was like, so we're in a car? Like, he just like forced us into a scene. And I was like,
Oh
so I
my
don't even get
God.
to decide what.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let me do improv, let me do improv. Like, come
my
on.
God.
I would love it if the teacher just kept doing improv with you. Like he's the one
I
who
know.
actually wants. He wishes he was doing TV.
That's exactly right. He made it happen because that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you can never, ever make anyone watch or participate in improv if they are not sold on it.
Totally.
Yeah,
It is
way.
impossible.
No
And
way.
14-year-olds, they're not sold on it at all. They actually don't even know what it is. I said it and they're like, we don't know what that is. And then he's like, you're going to do it. And I was like, cool. This is a cool spot to be in.
Did you
for
get
me.
paid?
No, of course not.
Oh my God.
It was out of the goodness of my heart. Because I thought we were talking about
Never,
my
just like Mike,
essay.
never help people, Jenny. Never help
Stop
people.
helping the next generation.
I know. I was like, they're reading my words. We're going to talk about like race dynamics. And then we're like, he's like, do an improv set. Like, this is not what I envisioned at all.
Wow.
You're like, I'm gonna be like holding forth on my like revelations about race as a
Yeah.
minority in a predominantly white culture,
Exactly.
and instead you're like,
Yeah.
I'm here to return this condom
Exactly.
because it's broken. Transaction scene.
So, yeah, I'm kind of inspiring the next generation.
Oh my god.
I had to do a few high school talks. They were over Zoom though.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I had to do one for like a very. It was like my friend's a teacher in this like very fancy high school, and I could see the class through, like through a camera, but it was like a class level camera. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like you could see the room. And I've done so many Zoom shows where absolutely like it's just quiet. So I just did that. I was just like talking into the ether.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm
doing a
saying?
set?
Yeah.
Did I do a set? No, there was like a couple of us. There was like 3 of us. So that helped. It was like we spread the shame around. And the other people, there was like one, graphic designer, there was another person who was like a writer, and like somebody else who was like an athlete. And it was like, it was all about like career, like non-traditional career type things.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped, and I think it was like if, the way I think I won them over was I talked shit about capitalism.
Yeah.
And when you like hit on a nerve, like a
Yeah.
kind of a thing they've seen a bunch of times, they kind of perk up a little.
Yeah.
bit. So next time, if you want to,
Well, no,
win
I did.
over some teenagers.
Okay, I had them for the part where we're talking about serious things.
Okay.
Where I lost them was
Was
when
the
he
comedy.
played 3 minutes and 30 seconds of a sketch
World
on the
War
screen.
I
That would
water
never
comedy.
work. Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
that's where I lost them. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
That's great. That's great.
Oh my god.
This is a tricky thing to talk about. Personally, as a man, as a dude, and I'm talking about my hair. Yes, I have hair, okay? I'm sensitive about it. I wanted to find a treatment for hair growth that took into account my whole body. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol's hair growth nutraceuticals go beyond genetics to multi-target the root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, nutrition, metabolism, aging, and lifestyle through whole body health. Physician formulated using natural medical grade ingredients, Nutrafol's drug-free patented technology provides consistent, reliable results without compromising your sexual health. Hey. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvements in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 3,000 top doctors. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com/men and entering the promo code ASIAN to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men, promo code ASIAN. I started taking athletic greens because I wanted a simple way to start my day on the right foot. I didn't want to take a million pills or chug all sorts of gross juices. Now I have something I actually look forward to each morning. With 1 scoop of athletic greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, yum, probiotics, and adaptogens. It helps me support my energy, recovery, focus, and aging. With athletic greens, all I do is wake up, put 1 scoop in some water, shake it up, and drink it up before my workout. I'll have it before my cringy jujitsu class, or maybe I'll do some after writing in the morning. It's fast and easy, and I can get on with my day. I drink it along with my morning coffee, and it just makes me feel cuddly, man. Athletic Greens is lifestyle friendly, whether that means keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. It supports better sleep quality and recovery, and it costs you less than $3 a day, and it's cheaper than buying all the supplements separately. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the cold and flu season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Asian. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/Asian to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Okay, we're learning a lot about on this podcast.
It's also like you got ambushed.
I
It
know.
was an ambush.
It was an ambush.
Yeah, it was an ambush.
Oh.
And I was like, and that also was, I did have a moment where I was like, thank God I'm not young anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I could
Yeah.
feel their feelings of like, they don't know what's going on. Like,
Right.
they can't control things. Like, I could feel them performing cool to other people on their
Right.
tables. Like, I just had this moment where I was like, man, this age sucks.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so hard.
It's
being
so
them.
fraught. Everything is just like you're being judged constantly.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw the clicks so clearly because I had to go to the different tables, and I was like, I can feel all the clicks so defined. Like the second I found like the nerds, I was like, I love them.
Yeah.
These are my people.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
I was like, this is where I fit
Followed
in.
them on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also like so much fear. Like you're not going to get them to do improv if they're
Exactly.
like constantly trying to control and like not and like be invulnerable
Right.
to
Oh, no.
everything.
Yeah, no.
Because they're like performing cool or performing not caring, and I was like, this is also like what an exhausting place to be in your life. Like they can't even be excited if they want to be excited.
It's weird that like everybody is so, because I think in general a lot of, I mean teenagers in particular, but I think it's a thing on the internet in particular to be nothing bothers me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like I feel like everything bothers me. You know?
Yeah.
That's like my thing.
Right.
I did one girl ranted to me about what time you could go to the bathroom. Like she's like 10 minutes before class, 10 minutes after class, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom. They lock the bathrooms, and she like told me the whole system. And she's like, they should make it this. And I was like, girl, I like this passion.
Boom.
Like this is what I want.
That's
Yeah.
our set.
Yeah.
That's the improv.
That's
right
the
there.
improv.
No,
yeah.
I mean honestly, like I would have done like short form with them.
I
Just
should've
be like,
done it.
okay, like ranting monologue or
Yeah.
something, or.
But
like,
I did not have that freedom. He put us in a car. He
I put you in a
he
car.
gave me a frisbee. He goes, "That's your steering wheel." He like told me what to do. I was like, "So you're giving me a
What
scene?"
steering wheel? Okay. You know
Does
what?
he know what improv
I
is?
don't think so.
You know what? Can't even blame the kids. You
Yeah.
really can't.
I know.
They're
I-
just trying. They're trying
You're
their
right.
best.
I know it
You're
wasn't
right.
the
You
kid's
know?
fault.
You're right.
They're on Shop Bop. Okay.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get through the fucking day.
They're on Be Real. They're
Yeah.
shop
They're
bopping.
shop bopping. They're dabbing. They don't do that anymore.
They don't
but,
dab anymore.
They dab ironically because it was from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's making
It's the-
dragging
this is-
millennials.
This is the teacher's fault. This
Yeah.
really is.
Yes,
Oh, for sure,
I agree.
100%.
Yes,
Let's smack
yes.
on the teacher.
I was perhaps a little too harsh on the students before. It's clearly the
Let's
the
turn
teacher's
the blame
fault.
to the teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's definitely not your fault, Jenny.
Thank
That
you.
is
I did my
the most
best.
important thing.
I really did my best.
Woody, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was a working Asian because I was on set on Monday.
Oh, hey! Booked and blessed.
Booked and blessed. I was on a show that stars a female Asian comedian that
Okay.
films in Queens.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think we all know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was great. I was on set, and this was my third day on set with this production. And I was because it was my third time I went, I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to focus on having fun and being relational. Because the first two times I was very like, okay, I have to like deliver. I have to be
deliver,
hilarious.
right.
I got to hit these jokes. I got to do it consistently. Like, and it was very like me in a silo.
Yeah.
And the third time I was like, no, like I need, and this is an improv thing, right? Is like be in relation to. It's like the funny thing is always like two people coming off each other as opposed to like me just
Yeah.
delivering the
generating
thing.
like Jim Carrey, like a crazy person or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was very focused on doing that. And I also was trying this thing where I was adding a different joke every take.
Oh, yeah.
So I like found one place where I would just like insert a different joke every time. And I was like, if they don't like this, they'll tell me to stop.
Right.
But I'm just going to keep doing it unless they tell me
that's
that.
cool.
That's cool.
Did that work?
It did work.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It worked.
Oh, that feels good. That must feel good,
I made
man.
her break on one take. And
Oh!
I was like, I did my job. I feel like a good boy. I'm going to go home and eat a cookie now.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Are you recurring on that? Or just like
For this upcoming season, unless they cut all of me out, yes.
What's the best part about fall?
All of the soup?
Leaves changing?
Sweater weather?
Well, whatever it is, this autumn, make sure to get your COVID booster.
Protect yourself and others by getting an updated COVID vaccine, especially if you're planning on getting together with family. And if you are 50 or older, you are at greater risk for hospitalization and death, particularly if you have a chronic disease. So, get an updated vaccine now.
Need more information? Talk to a doctor. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Have you been searching for something to fill that void in your heart? Are you looking for the ultimate meaning of life? Well, unfortunately, we don't have those answers, but we've got another great podcast for you to check out.
Worst Asian Podcast.
Yes, you heard that right. Worst Asian Podcast, where a couple Asian American millennials give you our shitty opinions on all things Asian.
Ever been to a bar and you kept eavesdropping on the loud-ass dudes at the next table? Guess what? That's us.
It's guaranteed A-tier banter, only possible from two lifelong friends based out of Queens, New York.
What's that you say? You prefer something a little more real?
We also have fun chats with some of the top personalities in the Asian community.
Past guests of the podcast include Paul Lee, aka Appa from Kim's Convenience.
Miss America Emma Burrows, the first Korean American to ever be crowned.
Stefan Kim, unarguably America's sexiest Asian journalist.
Search Worst Asian Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts or visit www.worstasianpod.com.
See you soon!
Yay! Congratulations.
I've seen you like popping up in all sorts of little
I'm in random little things here and there.
Oh my god, I was watching Girls5Eva. I literally was watching Girls5Eva and I went, what? When I was watching it. What? I was like, what are you? I don't know if I was by myself, but I remember like pointing at it and then I was like, I don't know what to do. Like,
You're the Leonardo DiCaprio meme,
like-
you know?
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah. That's what I was watching For All Mankind, and then my friend that I went to high school with, Cass Bouguet, was in an episode, and I like, Cass!
Yeah.
Like, you just, it's must, you
exactly.
can't
You
help.
have to point it out and then you go, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what to do from
And if
here.
you're by yourself, you're like,
yeah.
Occasionally, you might text that person right then and there and just be like, hey, I saw you, dumbass. You
Right.
know,
yeah,
you said
yeah.
That's amazing, man. I'm so glad.
That was my thing this week that I've like been coasting on for the rest of the week.
That's awesome.
We've been trying to figure out, like, because I wanted like a very chill guest today. I told our producer and Jenny, I was like, I want a really chill guest today.
You did say that.
And literally, I was like, Woody, you're kind of like my ultimate Pikachu, where I'm like, I need a solid guest who is just like, I'll be there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can call you. I swear to fucking God, I swear. Sometimes
I got
can call
nothing
you.
going on.
No,
nothing
no.
going on.
I can call you at like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, yo, what you doing? And you're like, nothing, dicking around. Every single time you always say, I'm dicking around. You don't sleep, you don't eat, you just dick around all day.
Right.
And I'm like,
actually
yo,
staring at my phone, waiting for the notification to go off.
yeah, and I feel like I just like activate you like fucking Jason Bourne assassin.
Oh my
okay?
god,
You
my
just, like,
favorite film franchise.
Yeah, you go. I just go, and the key word is story of the week, and then you just go yes, and you go and I need the target, and you go there and you assassinate.
Right.
So, but I one day want to have something where I'm like, yo, what you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm in Hollywood, or I don't know what the fuck you do. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I can't because I'm now famous or I'm doing this thing. So I'm glad that you're like working and doing
No,
stuff.
I will always come to this podcast until the day I die. Oh wait, actually, this is the thing that I forgot. SJ, son, my dear sweet friend and friend of the podcast, I went to get dinner with her at Die and Die in Greenpoint. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Vietnamese place?
D&D.
Oh.
We were D&D, yes. And so we were there, and the hostess, whose name I forget, unfortunately, she was like, oh, hey, are you SJ and Woody? And we're like, yes. And then she was like, I know you from the podcast.
Oh.
And we were like, oh, like our podcast, Emotional Slut, that we stopped doing? And then she was like, from Asian Not Asian.
Yeah.
So she recognized my voice from when I was a guest on Asian Not Asian. I was like, But I have my okay. It's not relevant. I'm just glad to be seen and heard. And then she got us a shot.
Whoa,
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Do you guys ever like get recognition from the podcast? Like
You get recognition from being like
on the internet.
On the internet.
Yeah, but I've never gotten a free shot out of it.
I've gotten a few from the podcast. Although I feel all these different things, like all these podcasts, we all nest inside of each other because I think I've been recognized once from being on Feeling Asian.
yeah,
It just kept going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
ultimately all serve Ronnie, but like, you know, Ronnie Chang. But like, you know what I'm saying? It all like we're all like Russian dolling inside of each other.
Right.
But so that's pretty cool.
That's
Got a little
awesome.
Shot. When was that?
This was maybe a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I bet if you go to D&D,
The
you
people
get-
there,
you get hooked up.
The people there, I know the owners there. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
they're pretty cool.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
just know them, yeah.
So
Okay,
anyways,
well, let's go to D&D then.
Yeah.
I want a free shot.
absolutely.
that's all we get out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to talk to you, Woody, is you helped me. So I like submitted a little tape for Sympathizer. Did not book. Hell yeah. But
Did you find out who did book it?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is something I've been kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. Was I see that they're booking things for like Pachenko and they're booking things for the Sympathizer and like the little poster or whatever that they say is like we're booking for all these roles.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like must be fluent in Vietnamese and in English and sometimes in Chinese and French and I'm like these are I feel so many projects are like amazing opportunities for Asian people not in America.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the future Henry Golding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and hey, so glad for that. Honestly, great. You know, but is there a role?
Mike
perhaps,
is smiling so
Yeah.
hard his teeth are cracking.
Yeah.
Is there a role perhaps where there's an Asian person and it's required that you cannot speak another language besides English? I need that role. Okay. Anyways, so for Sympathizer, you walked me through this whole thing, and it was very helpful. Like I was, I had no idea how to do any kind of reading, and you were like, you sat me down like a fucking English, major graduate student, and you were like, oh well, let me think about this and that, and you try to react this way. But I'm bad at this. I haven't gone. I've submitted a few tapes for a few things. It's always so nerve wracking. I feel so.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, stupid doing it
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
doing the tape. I feel so dumb.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
It's
know
very
what you- I
dumb.
know
The
what
whole
you mean.
process is incredibly stupid.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I just wanted to follow up with you that I never paid you for this, but if I did, I would want my money back because I've never booked anything.
It's a complaint.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
is a
yeah.
complaint.
Yeah.
This is going
He's
on
filing
Yelp.
a complaint right
Well,
now.
I'll write you an IOU because I don't have any money to give you right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. That was
well,
mine.
I mean, yes, you were right. Everything you're saying is correct.
Okay,
It's
cool.
incredibly stupid. The
Okay,
whole
good.
process is dumb.
Okay, great.
They're secretly hoping that Henry Golding magically exists. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
an undiscovered person who's actually perfect and like casually perfect on camera
Yes.
and stunning and devastating.
Right.
That person doesn't exist generally, or they're Henry Golding. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
or they scour the earth to find that person.
And actually, when you list out all those things, those are actually the opposite of me. I am none of those things. So yeah, I assume that person must exist because you have found me, and I am the opposite. And the
Right,
way that
right.
you know what I'm saying, the way
Yes.
that Higgs bosons work.
If you're the antimatter version of
Exactly.
someone,
There's gotta be the anti-me somewhere who's
yeah,
perfect.
right.
But you have found. You're close.
Right.
You found
Casting
the opposite.
director's like, well, good news is we found the exact polar opposite of everything we
No,
need.
we found the Antichrist.
Right.
We just have to find
Right.
Christ.
So if we believe in the balance of the universe, then the good news is
if there's positive
somewhere
spin on
else-
this electron, there's negative spin on another electron somewhere because of quantum entanglement.
Yeah.
And you found the negative spin guy.
So we're actually closer if you think about it.
Yes.
This is a failing casting director saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you
drinking.
think about it, it's actually really working out for us.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in 24 hours. This is great.
Yeah. Anyways. Yes. Okay.
But that person does eventually. But also the thing is that person doesn't exist because like that's what they think what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is come in and be a very specific thing, and they'll be like, "Ooh, this is not what we thought, but maybe this guy because he's so specifically this other thing." I mean, there's no rules to any of that. That's why
Yeah.
it's like endlessly upsetting to me who believes in a meritocracy. I'm always
Oh,
like, if
yeah,
you
yeah.
work hard, you'll
Oh,
get the
yeah.
thing. And like this industry is like zero of that.
Yes.
Well, that was so the last tape I did, I had to do it was like a bitchy receptionist, right? And I can't remember if it was you who told me or somebody told me, it was like, always just bring yourself to the thing. And I was sitting there doing it, and I was like, the lines were very bitchy. The lines were like, you know, you shouldn't have brought me these flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, very sarcastic. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I would never be this rude to someone as a receptionist.
Right.
If I was a receptionist, I'd be like, thank you for coming.
Right.
God, let me help you. You know what I'm saying? This is the opposite of me. And then I realized that the way I want to do it is to do it in a over the top, not over the top, but like a character way that was not me. So in other words, not me at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at the very least, it sounded more fun to do. Because if it was just me, that's boring.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't know if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like that's like character actor stuff, right?
Okay.
That's like Stephen Root or like James Urbaniak, like all these actors who like pocket themselves in very specific characters for the role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's very also hard to do in a different way, but doable. I always try to do like the most me version, but like, yeah, like half the time, like for example, I'll get a lot of like, every once in a while, I'll get an audition that's like, okay, we want sassy stylist.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll look at it, I'm like, okay, this is all obviously coded language for
Yes.
gay hairstylist. And I say no to those roles because especially if it's comedy, I don't want to put on gay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to like take away a role from like a gay actor. I don't
Right.
want to like pretend to be gay for hilarious jokes, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the whole thing. I'm like, it doesn't
that
feel
wouldn't
right
work.
to me.
Yeah.
That being said, if it's like a Japanese role, I'll be like, I'll do it.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm in there. I'll learn the language phonetically. It doesn't matter. So I think it's also like whatever you're comfortable with. You know what I mean? Because
totally.
if you're sitting there being like, thank you for bringing me these flowers, I hate you, and it's like clear that we're watching someone who doesn't like what they're doing,
Yeah.
then like obviously that
Yeah.
that's not going to help
not
anybody.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Well, you still
Acting is hard.
Acting's-
it is hard,
yeah.
and you still owe me money.
Yeah.
I think I
At the end of the
forgot.
day, this is still a complaint.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We were talking, Jenny and I. We're going to talk about why we were out on the next episode. But
You guys were out last night, right?
we were out last night.
You
yeah.
were getting.
Well, I didn't get too sauced.
No.
Jenny, how about you?
I didn't get too
Too
sauced.
crazy.
Do you guys
Too
know
sauced?
the notorious MSG?
No.
Okay,
Sounds familiar.
They were in the early 2000s. They were like a joke hip hop group.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
three Asian guys, and they were called Notorious MSG, and they did like joke raps.
Okay.
And they were great, very, very theatrical, very fun. And like one of their songs was, the chorus was, "My face is gonna get real red tonight." My face is gonna get. It was very funny.
Jenny did have.
I did.
What did you
My
have?
Pepsid AC.
You have your Pepsid AC.
To avoid the
Boom.
Asian glow.
And you didn't
Boom.
have Asian glow.
Thank
I didn't.
you,
At least
yeah.
I didn't notice any.
Yeah.
We were out, and this is this is just a random topic, but something I just wanted to talk about because I feel it was something that kind of stuck in my mind. Just going out to bars.
Yeah.
So we were out in the West Village, and I was telling Jenny, I used to live in that area, like on 14th Street, and I feel like yes, New York City is back, but somehow it's only the young, hot, rich, generally white people who are back. And I feel we maybe I don't know what happened to everybody else. We were walking around West Village, and it's just like clumps of like well-to-do looking, stylish white people.
White, yeah.
Just like everywhere you went. It was
Yeah.
almost like comical. I mean, you know that it's bad when not even Asian people were there. I was like, damn, not even Asian people are here?
It really was white people.
It was really white,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And
I mean, that's the West Village also.
is.
it is the West Village. I give you that.
we were in a very specific pocket.
We really were. But we were out, and we go to a couple bars just to get a couple drinks. And we were talking about this before we started recording, but just being in a bar was just very, I hadn't really been out in a long time. And I feel like I didn't, how do I say this? I was glad that I don't have to do this all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make
What-
sense?
what- do you mean like because because you remember what it's like to be a single guy in a bar, and that's terrible, or just being in a bar in general is terrible?
I think I like being in bars. But I think it was, kind of with, the whole performative thing. You know, when you get older, you are performing your cool act, you know what I'm saying, in the bar, right? You're like, look at me. I'm not looking, but I'm looking, and I'm just.
If you're single, you mean, or in general?
I think if you're single, and if you're a certain age,
Right.
I think as you get older, you're kind of like, well, it's too late for me, but you're just like, now I've become the bar.
Well, I'm just gonna polish my gun.
So, I just wanted to have a little like thing about like kind of like bar experiences. I don't know if you have like any, like any thoughts on going to bars. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I told the story right before we filmed, before we started. But basically, yes, I went to a bar in Williamsburg. So also, I mean,
When was this? So like,
This was a month ago.
a little while
it was
ago.
recent.
Very recently.
I thought it was recent.
And it was me and my girlfriend, and then she's outside waiting, and I go inside, and it's like 10 o'clock, and it's that early part of the night where no one's drunk, right? Everyone's still scoping, and you feel that energy, because I know that energy, because I would have that energy when I was in my 20s and 30s, like walking around like, okay, maybe. Like,
Is that your voice?
Yeah.
Holy
I'm
crap.
at a bar now.
Oh my god.
Just imagine this hand movement.
What are you, a gremlin?
Nothing
It's like,
good can happen tonight. And so, you know what I mean? It's just like that prowl, like shitty, toxic single guy energy where it's like, maybe I can talk to this person if I like am drunk enough, or like the right sequence of magical things happen, or it's just it's bad vibes. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking thankful I don't have to deal with this anymore. I have a partner that I love, that I don't go to bars like prowling and like, because when you're single and you go out, you're always only 50% present.
Yeah.
If you're out, because the other 50% is like, oh, other single people here,
Right.
maybe. And so I'm so glad that all of that other 50% of anxiety is gone now.
Yeah.
And so I was at the bar, and I got a drink, and this woman next to me goes, "Oh, nice shirt," and I'm wearing like my loud like bird shirt, and my loud bird shirt.
Yeah. I
love that shirt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
loud,
so
it's
good.
bird.
Huge
So
fan.
loud.
And I'm like, "Oh, thank you," and immediately in my 20s I would have been like, "Oh, why are you talking to me?" Like, I would not have understood that someone was talking to me, even though I'm on the prowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but as an adult within a relationship, I'm like, oh, you don't have to say that to me. It's possible you're being polite, but it's possible also you're sniffing my butt a little bit to see if I'll bite back. And I was like, oh, thanks. My go-to joke for this shirt. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm sorry. I'm afraid it makes me look like a Trader Joe's employee. And then she's like, oh, no. It looks really good on you.
Oh.
Right? So she like pivoted into like a full-on compliment.
Compliment, yeah.
And then I felt so good.
Yeah.
I felt so good. I've been dining on that for like the last month, because like all I need now that I'm in a relationship is like one compliment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And for the next like 4 years, I'm fine.
No, absolutely.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah. Yo, Jenny, go ahead.
Well, okay. Can I say something though? I don't. I guess I still go to bars, but I never talk to strangers in bars, and I actually go in not even thinking. Even throughout my 20s, I never had the idea that you can meet someone at a bar. Is that crazy?
Well,
am I weird?
No, I don't know. I mean, I was going to ask you what like sort of because I definitely hear what you're saying as far as if you're a single dude going into a bar. I mean, a certain kind of bar, right? Obviously not Buffalo Wild Wings, but like actually maybe, who knows? Dave and Buster's. You go into a certain kind of bar and you're with your buddies and it's that kind of night. Let's just say, you're wearing your fancy Hawaiian shirt. You got your boys. You
got your jokes ready.
You got your jokes ready on your note cards and you're ready to go. And yes, then you're kind of like, okay, like on the periphery, I got my radar going. I definitely understand that mentality, but I wanted to see if I could see where you don't have that, especially if you're a woman. You're just kind of like just doing your thing.
Yeah, I've literally never gone to a bar thinking I'll talk to a stranger. I think I'm afraid of strangers in general.
Well, yeah.
Have you gotten hit on at a bar?
I'm sure I have, and I'm sure I was just like, haha, and like walked away.
Right.
Because I like don't do well with that stuff.
Yeah.
Was that because you weren't into them? Like, if you were into them and you're like, oh, you're cute and kind of funny, would you still be reacting that way?
No, I think I'm not into them. But I will say, I saw my friend last night after I saw my kind of had a long night. But we were reminiscing in our 20s. We went to a wine bar in San Francisco. And then we ended up like hanging out with the bartender and his friend who was there hanging out with the bartender, like this whatever, like the this like quiet upscale wine bar. And then he's like, my shift's almost over. Do you want to go karaoke? And the four of us went karaoke.
Whoa.
Kind of forgotten about this memory. This is like probably like early 20s. And then we went karaoke, and then they paid for everything.
Wow.
And then we were just like, okay, bye. Like we just like left afterwards. I think that's kind of who I am, which is like I don't even think about the possibility that someone's flirting with me. I'm just like, this is friendship. Bye.
Thank you for the friendship drinks and karaoke.
Thanks for taking us out to all the drinks and then like hanging out with us for hours on end afterwards. Have a good night. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Right.
Like talk to you never again.
They didn't like ask for,
No, they didn't.
Contacts or anything like that?
Like maybe they just got such a vibe from us that we're like, we're friends. And they were like, we're not going to get anywhere.
But I think also at that age, everyone doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's still kind of play acting,
Yes. Yeah, I see
putting
that.
on adulthood.
Right.
Like, because I feel like if I was even just a little bit emotionally more mature in my 20s, I would have like been a Casanova, because I would have been like, hey, I'm gonna be
Oh, yeah,
direct.
slow down
Yeah.
there, Woody. Okay,
And-
Casanova. Really? You're gonna go there? If I had a little bit of
Casanova.
emotional
I would have been a
maturity, I would have been
Casanova.
closing deals
I
left and
would've
right.
been- it would've
Really?
been- meaning I feel like I would have, if I was able to speak to how I actually felt instead of just kind of being like, if I just am like the magical amount of drunk,
Right.
and they are also the magical amount of drunk, and we have like this connection, and maybe it'll happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
I was just able to speak more of like, hey, you seem really cool. Like, can I grab your
Right.
drink? If you don't want to, that's fine. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like maybe it would be fun if we had a conversation. Like,
Yeah.
even like that, I feel like is way more forward and
yeah.
like and straightforward and like less creepy if
Totally.
they're into you.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I never would have done that.
No.
Yeah.
Never would have done
And I don't
that.
think anyone. Oh, maybe people are more mature now. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that I was wondering if there's a resurgence in people meeting IRL. You know, because we were talking earlier about like apps, and
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone be like, man, so glad I'm on all the apps.
Yeah.
They're so, I've never heard any like
Yeah.
someone. Best case scenario is like, it's okay. You know,
Right.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Most people are.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's
Yeah.
a nightmare. And so people, I think, might be interested in like, how do I do this without having to do the apps, or at least like have the option of having the apps, but then also not have to rely on the apps. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I wonder if people are doing that. That's why I kind of was interested. I would love to hear from any of our fans. If you want to get up on here and leave us a voicemail about being on bars, you can leave us a voicemail at 646-809-7231. And I want to hear some bar stories. But yeah, I think I sometimes think that if in my worst nightmares I was single again, I don't know. I think that if I met someone I was interested in, they would be just I'm too emotionally mature now, where I'm just like, this is what I would like from you.
Right.
That sounded creepy, but
That
like,
would
you know
be
what I'm
the
saying?
first thing you say.
No, yeah, I
Oh.
would say like, hey, I think you're really cool. Let's hang out and
I
have
see.
a drink, and I would
Right.
just be like there.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you don't want to, totally cool.
Yeah.
But we'll never talk again.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to say that thing, but if you're not prepared for those ramifications, it's much easier to do other stuff like be on apps. I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But I don't
No,
know if
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I think that you become less sentimental the older you get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Listen,
think
we're old, flabby people now.
all of us, all three of us,
All
all
three
the
of us
flabby.
are flabby.
All of us are so flabby now.
You know? I mean, yesterday on the West Village, no flabby people.
Yeah.
Everyone,
But also, everyone looked exactly the same.
yes.
Like
Right.
the same outfit.
Yes.
Right.
And hair.
Yes,
was
it's
like,
all
wow.
it's all like high rise, light colored jeans, halter tops,
Black.
black halter top thingies, sometimes a leather blazer.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Is
the
this like rich and white? Like or
Yeah.
like
For
rich
sure.
European white? Or
No, it's
No.
like basic white.
No, these are definitely people they moved here from Chicago.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then for guys, it's the bro kind of like barstool sports look, where it's
Yeah.
like slim jeans, maybe not super tight, but slim.
Ugh.
You know, like some sort of performance tee
Like an Under Armour shirt?
Kind
you
of,
mean?
yeah. Like no, but like, something that makes it look like, oh, I golf, but I'm still pretty fit,
Okay.
and I'm drinking a Busch Light. Anyways,
Like Young Republican?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
a lot of Chads, a lot of guys
Yeah.
named Chad or
Yeah,
Taylor,
yeah.
Taylors, Connors.
Yeah, it's probably 60% Taylor.
Yeah,
men and
60%
women, yeah.
Taylors out there.
Oh my God, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
what you're describing is hell. Like
Yeah.
you're walking through the West Village on like a Friday night.
I know.
Oh my
It
God.
was a weird experience.
Yeah, it was very weird. And let me tell you too, just very quickly before we kill ourselves, is now when I do comedy, it affects my comedy because these are the people who are in the clubs now.
Right.
So when I'm going and doing a set, I'm looking and I'm
Right.
like, it's 40% Connors, 40% Taylors, of which the Taylors are half and half girls and boys. Some of the guys are named Taylor. Some of the girls are named Taylor. Okay. And I'm like, how do I, a Vietnamese man in his 40s with a son, connect with Taylor Connors?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And I grapple with it every night.
This is the boulder you push out to the top of the
It's
hill
so-
every single night.
And as you were trying to connect with 14-year-olds,
Yes.
I'm trying to connect with like 25-year-olds. And they could be on their phones. They could also not give a shit. And they're also performing.
Right.
Man, I am so amazed how much I'm wrapping this episode up.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful. You're
Yeah.
finding the theme.
It's like
And
a Harold
I just
third
don't
beat
know-
right
Yeah, I
here.
know, seriously.
I just don't know how to do it. And, I got my little bits and I can make people laugh because I can make fun of myself, So that's my thing. But, it's always something I'm like clawing at. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
how do I
Right.
connect with these people, even though I'm very different from them and, that kind of thing. None of
Right.
them own sweater vests.
Well, I mean, but this is, what you're describing is like Asian creative,
Yes.
the dilemma, right? Is like, how do I make my particular specific trauma palatable to you, a white person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
In a way that I don't have to explain too much of it either.
Yeah.
And that's the skill set. And some people do it by like figuring it out by going through it and like actually having figured out what that means. And other people do it by just like not addressing it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
And either way, it's like when you go on stage, they see what you look like. So you do have to
do.
speak to it in a certain way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
It's always there.
It's always
It
there.
is.
Yeah.
Anyways. Great to have you on the show, Woody.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for doing this.
Look, I
doing
think
the
the next
show.
time we do the show, it should be in a high school freshman class.
Yeah, and we were forced to use a frisbee as a steering wheel
Frisbee in the steering wheel.
into a seat.
And
Well-
the high school's in the West Village.
We'll play a video of the podcast, an hour of it for the class to watch.
Okay, and here's the scene: you're in a bar and you're single. Okay, so it's like meta. So it's like we're incepting ourselves.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, we're just deeper and deeper.
And
it
the other
goes.
people in the bar are high school freshmen.
They're named Taylor. Some of them. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much, Woody, for coming on here. Very quickly, I just also wanted to let people know that if you are interested in checking us out and our lives, I don't know. There's different ways to do it. You can check us out at a live show October 28th. That's going to be in New York City. And it's at Caveat. Again, October 28th. Tickets are available in the episode description.
That's a live recording of the podcast.
A live recording of the
Yes.
podcast, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're putting it together. It's gonna be great. If you're in Los Angeles, October 20th, there is a Hack City, and that is going to be in West Hollywood. Fumi is going to be doing that. So Fumi will be over there, and Jenny and I are not going to be there, but it's going to be a great time. So definitely check those out. Woody, again, thanks very much for coming on here. How can our fans find you? Oh my God.
Do you remember Panda? Instagram at WoodyFu, WOODYFU.
Yo, check him out and his hopefully character who has not been cut out of any of the episodes. On an episode of an Asian person in Queens, which is funny, which we will not say. You can find us on the podcast at Asian Not Asian Pod, and you can find me on Instagram at Nice Pants Bro.
And I'm at January Moto.
And until then, everybody,
What's the parting word of wisdom?
don't help anybody.
Don't help
Yeah.
people. Do not help another living soul.
Live only for yourself.
Live for yourself. Yeah. Become a libertarian.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.